South Coast Kane.
Well, hello there. How y'all doing? This is South Coast Kane, and this is the South Coast Kane Show. This is being recorded. I'm trying something new. Hopefully everything sounds good. I would hope everything's looking good, but it's hard to make this look any better than it is. But I digress. So yeah, I wanted to try something new. I wanted to kind of, I guess you could call this a reaction video, an educational video, but I do enjoy, as you can see from the title, the scoop on Miami's offense. So I have two clips that involve Scoop from the Orange Bowl boys. The second clip, there's a little dialogue between him and Rowe. If you're not familiar with the Orange Bowl boys, three guys. You got Toast, Scoop, and Rowe. Roman, as he's known, does a lot of student of the game. Very knowledgeable, just like Coach Hayes, and good, bad, and ugly, and so forth. Very, very interesting stuff if you want to get into the X's and O's and so forth. But I do like to hear what they have to say. I'm a real big fan of Scoop. Nothing against the other two, but Scoop, I like Scoop. Scoop's a good guy. And I know there's probably some things they say that most people don't agree with or see eye to eye with, but that's okay. Excuse me. But these two clips, and I have the links in the description if you want to watch the whole video. But I also want to say that I'm going to have this in the description also, but I'm not trying to cash in. I'm not trying to seek fame and fortune by using these clips. I'm just merely sharing them. I really liked them. I feel, in my opinion, that it kind of sums up how things are vis-a-vis the Miami offense. So yeah, if anybody's out there, he just trying to ride the coattails. He's trying to be. No, I like what was said, and I wanted to try to do this. I've never done this before. As y'all know, I'm more of a live, direct guy. I'm not much on recording videos. This I feel like a fish out of water, but it is what it is. So without further delay, and how'd y'all like that opening, my little intro there, the little voices? Thanks to my man DJ Cree, the man behind Friday Night Fiesta. He sent me those little voiceovers. I've been waiting on that Cruel Summer remix, but it's neither here nor there. But anyway, shout out to DJ Cree for doing those voices for me. So yeah, let's get into this, as the cool kids say. So I'm gonna change my scene. Whoa. All right, so this first clip comes from their show after the Louisville game, where they're talking about it's more like a Stanford preview or whatever. But this clip here, it's not very long, but I think you'll enjoy it. Check it out.
I don't know. After that comment that was put out there, I'm slightly perturbed about the entire thing. I'm not calling out names, but I know Jenners has audio, and if you want to play it, that's fine. I'm highly offended by this comment.
I don't know about correcting it. I mean, our run game is what it is. We need to execute it better. There's times when we have things there.
After that comment that was put out there, I'm slightly perturbed about the entire thing. I'm not calling out names, but I know Jenners has audio, and if you want to play it, that's fine. I'm highly offended by this comment.
I don't know about correcting it. I mean, our run game is what it is. We need to execute it better. There's times when we have things there and we miss it. And I don't deflect any blame from that. I have to stick with it. I have to package it together a little bit better probably, but ultimately, We just need to keep doing what we're doing, and I have to stick with it. And so just execute. We got to execute better.
Great. That's fucking great. Really. I mean, I love Shannon Dawson, but our run game is what it is the first problem. We can't be serious, right? Are we serious? Are we serious? That's the first thing I've heard. That's the first thing I've heard this year that's really
This is why I have my Romy 1 Kenobi hood, because that one, for some reason, it didn't offend me as much as I saw that the main account was offended. Because I'm like, okay,
offensive.
It is what it is.
Horribly offensive. Like, it is what it is. This is what we're getting. This is what you get. And you know what? Fuck it. We didn't execute well enough.
Because the reason why I was saying it, because later on he goes,
I might have to be the executioner of the execution of the running game in between the guards. I don't know, man.
He softens it later, though, Scoop. He's like, yeah, I got to probably do a better job of
he's got to package it better. Package what better?
He's got to package it better. So he says the comment, but then he walks it back, and I just took it as, it is what it is. It's just like a common phrase.
Yeah, that's right. It is what it is.
Common phrase.
It is what it is, but it is what it is, and it's not going to be any different. It is what it is, and if they don't execute at the optimal level, they're going to get beat. The defensive units across the country at the highest level watched Louisville and, quite honestly, watched FSU stop the running game and said, no problem. We can do that. And our secondary is much better. Look, Louisville shut them down over the top, which FSU couldn't do. So if you can't execute, or you don't execute, or you're failing to execute, or you're not on, you're going to fail, because it is what it is.
Well, here's what it is.
Total horse shit, bro. Horse shit. Horse dookie.
Well,
so yeah, I should have put a disclaimer up, and I probably will when I do some editing, but language, parental advisory. I do apologize if that offended anybody, but like I said, I'm going to go back and do whatever. So that was a short one. That voice you heard, that was the illustrious Shannon Dawson, in case you didn't know from that press clipping, interview, press conference, excuse me. So the next one is this is taken from their video clip 2. Again, if you want to see the whole thing, there's links in the description. And also, if you want to check out their channel, there's also a link in the description also. So the second one's going to be a little longer. This was put up I think it was yesterday, Monday, because today's Tuesday. But yeah, this was basically the same thing, but it was kind of a Stanford review. Well, mostly it was just SMU stuff. But anyway, regardless of the fact, check this out.
Man, there's so much to unpack, to be honest with you.
Well,
and I'd like to, our second half, we dominated. We scored 5 times, right? Put up 35 points on them. Broke a 7-7 juggernaut of a first half tie, right? Our second half starting field position was on Stanford's 41.
Thank you, Malachi Tony.
I'm not as excited as everybody else is about the fact that we scored 5 times in the second half. You had a short porch the entire second half, thanks to the defense. And you did mix it up a little bit. Now, I'm excited to see Rose student of the game, because I would like to see what they changed. What I saw them change, a little bit more intermediate passing game. Haven't seen that in a bit. Saw a little bit more of that. The run game's exactly the same. And what you did was wear them down, which is great, as I mentioned 10 minutes ago. It's Stanford. You should wear them down. But you ran the same thing you ran in the first half. From the naked eye, it's the same stuff. And when you get deeper into this season and you got to play, I don't know, SMU's pretty good. You got to play Pitt, who might run us out of the building. to be quite honest with you. And then you're going to get into the playoffs potentially. You're not going to wear these people down. So what do you have? You have a second half of running the same shit you ran the first half. So let's talk about the first half. It's negligence. It's gross negligence at this point. I'm sitting there. I've got my wife next to me. I've got my two daughters and Kenzie's best friend there. And everybody's miserable, as you would imagine. Right? Because we're watching nothing different. And I'm calling, yes, I tweeted that, Ro. I'm sitting there based on formation, and I go, he'll go in motion. They'll run it here. He'll go in motion. Oh, this is a screen. He'll go in motion. Oh, they're gonna throw the swing pass, right? Which they like to do out of the two-back set. Which the two-back set sucks. If we want to be honest, it's incredibly inefficient. The only time it worked is because you set it up by not throwing the swing pass for 3 quarters, and you got Fletcher, as I sat there literally next to somebody and said later in the game and said, well, they haven't thrown this swing the entire game. So that's set up pretty well. 3rd and 8, they throw the swing to Fletcher, and he gets the first down to the 8 or 9, whatever it was. So I know a little bit of what I'm looking at. I've said this. I'm literally calling 80% of what's happening from, I don't know, a long way away. And I didn't have my glasses on. And I could see what's coming. Like, I just simply don't understand. And yes, I was pissed off last week on the is what it is comment. I'm more mad because I'm Rowe expecting Dawson and whoever's running the ship. I don't know.
What?
But I'm Rowe expecting D'Onofrio not to run an odd man front. But you're going to see it. That's all you're going to get because it is what it is. And when Stanford wasn't worn down, they weren't tired, they stopped everything you did. You are inept on the offensive side of the football in the first half.
What?
Inept. You've got better. I feel this is why we wanted a creative offense for so many years, because we had the better talent and we did nothing with it. What do we say? We did less with more better than anyone in the country. And it's come back 3 weeks ago. We were so happy. We had Mario Ball. We had Bully Ball. We got back to the pro style offense of being able to have option routes. We got back to loving this offense. This is what you need to win a championship. And now that everyone's figured you out, Stanford, pretty smart guys. Now that everyone's figured you out, you refuse to change. You refuse to do anything. We watched an entire first half of the same exact shit you've been running all year. If it wasn't blaringly obvious, the beep, Rose already said it. It's fucking screaming in your house.
Smoke detector.
And you refuse to change the fucking battery. You don't even acknowledge that it's beeping, let alone get on a step ladder to see how to change it. Well, you got a 9-volt or you got 2 AA's in there. The new one's got AA's. They got creative on what fucking batteries in the smoke detector. And we refuse to do anything different. It's mind-numbingly fucking stupid. And I'm an emotional fan. But what are we doing? Like, I'm allowed to voice my opinion. And you know what? The stadium's allowed to boo. Because it seems to me, maybe you just executed the entire first half poorly. Maybe that's what it was. I mean, that's what you're going to say it was. So you can preach and yeah, that was me. You can preach the culture and you can preach the execution and you can preach whatever you want. But it's gross. And you sticking your head in the sand and thinking it's going to automatically fix it. What did we do last week? It's Stanford. It's Stanford. We're okay. We're okay. We're gonna run this. We'll be fine. And the only reason you were fine is because you wore them down and you started on their side of the field for the entire second half. What happens when we got to start in our own 10? What happens when we don't have great punt returns by Malachi Toney, who's clearly the best player on this team offensively? Without him, yes, he's on the team, and I understand it. Cam Moore was on the team last year, and without him, we suck too. I get it. But without him, our offense is what?
Listen, Scoopy, well said. I think if the second half would have been the first half, I don't think we have this debate. I think what Scoopy's frustration and what you heard,
but it's not. It's not because they're not worn out in the first half.
But the Boo Birds happened because it was particularly 10 quarters, right? It was 10 quarters where the run game was absent. It was 10 quarters where it was absent. Now, you might be pounding your chest this morning, Mario and staff, and be like, look, we don't care what the fans are saying. Look at the final result. But you were absent for 10 quarters. Let's be honest. 10 quarters it disappeared.
Yep.
You aren't afforded that in the future.
Nope.
Because, yes, you've won championships. You haven't been into the playoffs in this modern era. And we see what the potential is because you don't have 10 quarters to go ahead and figure this out.
Nope.
You haven't won late when it matters. The reason why we're sounding this alarm is because we saw what happened a week ago. And for 10, you came out and your response to that was the first 2 quarters. And Scoop didn't give you a pass. The stands didn't give you a pass. And, yeah, we're going to find out exactly what kind of clicked the running game going into the second half. But it's the way you go about it. I happened to watch Alabama, who's been on a really good run. They were in a dogfight with South Carolina, and at the very end. And I was just, again, you have envy, right? The grass is always greener on the other side of the lake. And I know he's nowhere near what Nick Saban was, but, I mean, he's got his team rolling. That's Alabama. And I'm watching what they're doing, and I'm just like, all right, they go 4-by-1 in this one. They motion, they're shifting. Their 2-point play was phenomenal. They went on a version of their 2-point play, but where they keep it, and next you know they go around. They score when it matters. They have 3 people doing trips. They do this motion to kind of get them into the flats. And I'm like, I call them bag plays. It's where you go into your bag. It's where you're saying, all right, I understand I can't make 100 of my plays out of 100 bag plays. But I'm going to give you like 10 to 20. I'm going to go into my bag. There's something I have schemed up, and I'm going to use it when it matters, and this is what we're going to do. There is no bag with Shannon Dawson, right? The bag was Cam Ward. He was the bag. He was a built-in bag. Like, he made things look a lot more exotic than they actually really were, okay? That's where – and you're facing off, and this is an ironic – time period for me because you're facing off against Rhett Lashley. And Rhett Lashley had his spread system and we were clamoring for it, but then eventually got to a point where it's like, look, we were a little too late to the spread tempo game. Teams adjusted really well. But one thing I always credited Rhett Lashley, and his run game wasn't great either, right? Our run game under Shannon Dawson is much better than Rhett Lashley's was. So let's just be honest. But the one thing I always applauded was Rhett Lashley was good, really good at making those bag plays. He had some very creative plays, and he's done really well in the ACC. He finally lost his first game in the ACC after joining, right? This is Rhett Lashley. He's much better at getting into his bag. So what we're saying is we're not like looking at you, Mario, and staff to say we need you to change the option. You cannot run the option. I'm not saying that. Run the option. I love the fact that you have the ability to do that because that's why I don't think SMU can win long-term is because they are a little bit too passive with their run game, and we are not. We have the ability to put our foot on the gas and do it, but it comes at a cost. And the cost was no matter what you say, no matter the result of what happened with Stanford, you went absent. Your offense was 20 points at best 2 weeks in a row, and then into the first half. So you had right there 10 quarters of absolute offensive horseshit. Okay? As far as the running game's concerned. You got some other things. And your defense has been bailing you out. You got to play complementary ball. But it doesn't have to be that way. You just need to infuse just a little. And that's why you heard the boos. Now, don't listen to the smoke alarm anymore. Beep. You know it's there. We just say, hey, when it matters, it's 4th and 1. And of course, you don't convert because, of course, what are you doing? What the whole country knows what you're about to do. And it was used against you. Your center got blown up. He didn't execute. That's what you're going to fail. But you allowed the execution to beat you. Sometimes you can scheme it, and you just refuse to do it. Refuse to do it. They booed you. That was your smoke alarm last night. And then later on in the road, later on down when it matters, and if this is what's going to get snuffed out, it's going to get louder. It's going to get louder, and eventually the house burns down. Because that's what's threatening. That's what smoke alarms prevent. The actual fire. You go up to Pittsburgh, they snuff out your run game similar to Louisville. They come out with a quick passing attack. They look similar. You've seen the film. We've all seen the film. And next thing you know, your passing attack, your creativity's not there, and you fall flat on your face.
Dude, I watched maybe 3 minutes of the post game, and this is and you know we're not here to be. Look, we won 42-7. Not here to be critical, but I'm kind of going off of what we talked about last week, or what I was upset about last week, and I heard a coach mention, well, you know what, we obviously they had a few plays in the first half that they had a couple drops. They had the drop on the 4th down that could have kept the drive going, and that's on execution. I understand that. You got to catch the ball. I get that, right? And it could have kept the drive going. That's fine. But it was also mentioned that, you know, they just had to stay the course, trust the process. We got to play Miami football. Okay, so when that doesn't work eventually, because you've got a guy like Jeff Brom who's going to out-scheme you like he did last week, and you can't wear them down because you're being out-coached, out-schemed, whatever it is.
Sound familiar?
This isn't, and I'm mad about it. I don't know why I'm mad about it. It's not going to change. I can talk about this from here to high heaven. It's not changing. This is what this offense is going to be. And if you think otherwise, Ro, if you think that D'Onofrio is going to run a 4-man front, you're fucking delusional. So I believe at this point that I am ill. I'm delusional because I, for some reason, think that they can't possibly not adjust in a way that it doesn't look like that for an entire half against Stanford. Inept. They came out, they ran 3 plays off the rip. Right? First down. Then what'd they do? They ran into the guard's ass on 1st and 2nd down. Got nowhere on 3rd and missed a field goal.
Yep.
And that, my friends, is exactly what you expect from this offense. It's wild to me. Truly, utterly wild. I have to stop the expectations of thinking that we are able or will try to do anything that could potentially be more effective, especially in the run game. Show me the runs in the second half, Ro. They're the same ones in the first half.
All right, let me change scenes here. So, yeah, there you go. I thought that was good stuff. I know the second one got a little long, but I really wanted to put in Ro's rebuttal and what he was saying. But yeah, you know, in my last video talking about Israel's video, you know, I brought up the big channels and stuff and how they're influenced, but I've also preached discernment. Okay. Not everybody is saying bad stuff all the time. Maybe most of the time, but you got to kind of sift through the dirt to find the diamond, you know? And I just thought I really enjoyed what they were saying. I really liked what Scoop said, and I wanted to bring that out in case y'all didn't know about them, or if you known about them and you didn't know about that being said. But yeah, I liked it, so that's why I did it. And plus, I wanted to try to do one of these reaction or whatever you want to call this. I don't know. It's just something different. But I really wanted to share that with y'all because sometimes it's almost like those of us that may say things against the grain or not be the popular pick or the popular topic or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you feel like a fish swimming upstream, the old salmon, and again, I wasn't trying to do this to validate or justify any of our opinions, thoughts, and theories, because I feel like here our thoughts and theories are based on what we see on the field on game day. And when you hear someone like Scoop say what he just said, maybe we're not delusional. No, but anyway, so yeah, like I said, thank y'all for making it this far. And once again, in the description, there will be the link to each of the two videos I did use. Also, hopefully, I tried to put this in a very objective light. All I did was clip it from the video and just to put it out there, be objective, not trying to cash in, not trying to seek fame and glory at the expense of the Orange Bowl boys. And my intent was not to, or my action was not to make them look bad or insult them. I'm just putting it out there in case you didn't see it, because somebody may watch this and say, hey, I never heard of these people. So, and they do real good stuff. I really like it. I'm not 100% in agreement all the time, but discernment. And like I said earlier, Roe has his student of the game where he'll go through parts of the game and explain things, just like with Coach Hayes and the good, bad, and the ugly. Same scenario. More of an X's and O's type of situation. But anyway, almost 30 minutes. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for what y'all do for the channel. Thank y'all for putting up with me, and y'all keep coming back for more. But anyway, that's all I got. Peace, love, and soul. Let's go, Canes. We'll catch y'all next time.